Hey, good Wednesday afternoon, and welcome to the Health Hour. I'm Mike Sasser. I'm your host for the Health Hour. The next hour is an hour of news, health news that you can use. And we are a live show. We're coming to you right here from downtown Conroe. Beautiful day outside. It's sunshiny and it is hot. So let me start the show off with a heat advisory, okay? If you're working out in the heat, or even if you're out there playing and, recreation in the heat today, maybe a boating or hanging out in the park or running, well, look, hydrate, okay? Because this heat is very dangerous. You can dehydrate quickly and without, the symptoms, or you stop sweating and you feel dizzy, any kind of symptoms of heat-related illness, stop and hydrate. Just constantly hydrate. That's how we did it back in the oil and gas days when I managed health and safety. We said just drink a bottle of water, even when you're not thirsty in this type of heat. Just continue to hydrate. Keep your body, cool if possible. Take some breaks. If you can get in the air conditioning, that's great. If not, maybe a shade tree or something. But just try to take some breaks and cool down, because this heat is extreme and it is dangerous. Okay, so hey, welcome to the Health Hour again. We are a live show every Wednesday at 1 p.m. here on Lone Star Community Radio. And if you're listening to us, then you know where to find us. But if you want to pass this along to your friends, then the website is www.irlonestar.com. And that's the way you can listen to the show. We will be going FM before long, and that's going to be soon, I believe, 104.5 and 106.1 on your FM dial, and that will be here in Conroe and the Woodlands and, out there around Montgomery County. So Lone Star Community Radio, but not only the Health Hour, but many other great shows as well. How do you get in touch with me? How do you be part of the Health Hour? Let's say you have a question or you have a comment. Well, I have a website you can go to. This is the easiest way to get to me because, everything's internet based. I mean, you could be listening anywhere right now on the internet and get in touch with me. How do you do that? www.mikesasser.com. That's MikeSasser.com. Go there. I have a Contact Mike page. Click on that, and you can email me directly. You can find me on Facebook. Go straight to my Facebook page, which everybody does that nowadays, seems like. And you can also tweet me. Yes, I do Twitter. Not too much, but I have a Twitter account, so tweet me if you will. All right? And that's how you get in touch with me. So one other thing, if you have been listening to the show before or you've missed some shows in the past, guess what? Every show is recorded, so you can catch the podcast. That's right. You can catch them at, again, www.irlonestar.com or MikeSasser.com. Have a link right there, and you're one click away from listening to the shows. And the cool thing about podcast is you can listen to them anytime, anywhere there's internet. And hey, maybe even in your pajamas. Who knows, right? So, all right. Well, hey, that's what we got going on with the Health Hour. And today, I'm very excited because we have a special guest in the studio, live, sitting right here in front of me.
Yay!
Yay! All right, all right.
Reeling in the flesh.
That's right. Amy Ressler is here, and she is from Texas A&M AgriLife Extension. And Amy, you are. Let me see if I get this straight now. Let's see.
It's a mouthful.
It is. Your title. Your title is long here. Let's see. County Extension Agent, Family and Consumer Science.
That's right.
Wow.
That's it, yeah.
What all is that about? I mean,
basically we're educators.
Yeah.
And
okay.
that's probably a much better description. We're all about education.
Yeah.
And so I work in the area of family and consumer science. So anything that relates to families and consumers, which is pretty much everybody.
Everybody on the planet, I believe, yes.
Yeah, but we do lots of health and wellness, food, nutrition, activities and education. So we're kind of driven by committees who help us identify what the needs are in the county. So we try to be very responsive to what our county constituents need. So we're here to serve the residents of Montgomery County. So every county is going to look just a little bit different. We have some programs that we do across all of our counties, but each one is kind of tailorized for that, for each individual county. So
Okay, and of course we're talking about Montgomery County, the community here local, and talk about the committee. We had a meeting yesterday.
We did,
and that was a great meeting, by the way, and talked about a lot of things. So I basically brought the agenda from yesterday's meeting. So I'm
it's quite exciting.
I'm going to keep you busy for an hour here. Okay,
all right, we can do it.
But one thing that I wanted to talk about, and I believe this wrapped up. This is a program, if you will, that you had recently, and it's Walk Across Texas.
Yes.
And you have, as we were talking, you have a lot of the stats, a lot of the results and participation, which I believe this year was the best participation yet so far,
yes.
right?
Yep. Yeah, and I'll tell you also, we're one of the biggest in the state as well. So I'm kind of proud of that.
Right here in Montgomery County? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. Well, where do we jump in at, Amy? I mean, you wanted to...
well, let's start out with telling people kind of what Walk Across Texas is, because some folks, have no idea. Like,
that's right.
There's no way I'm going to walk across Texas, especially in this heat.
if I'm not mistaken, I'm a Louisiana boy, and I believe when you cross the state line down there on I-10, I think it says El Paso 800 and something miles. So
exactly.
Yeah. So are we talking about people walking 800 and something miles, or?
So that's the goal for a team of 8 people.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So and that's within 8 weeks.
Okay.
So really, when you kind of divide that all out, a team of 8 weeks, it's about 10 to 13 miles per person per week.
Well, it's not so bad.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
In fact, there really is some science behind that. It's not as random. I mean, it works out really well that it's that distance across Texas.
Right.
But the CDC, Center for Disease Control, suggests that people get at least 30 minutes of activity every day.
Absolutely.
So equal 150 in a week. So if you kind of divide that out, it really means if you're walking about 30 minutes every day, you would get about 10 to 13 miles in a week.
Works out mathematically.
Yeah, yes. Okay. Most definitely.
Well, that's what I do, Amy. I walk in my program, in my book. I suggest walking as an activity because, first off, it's simple. I mean,
sure.
If you don't have any disabilities or anything like that, well, walking is kind of natural, and there's a lot of ways to fit walking in, with you at the grocery store or parking out a little further in the parking lot, taking the stairs versus the elevators. I mean, there's a lot of different tips and things like that. So walking 30 minutes a day, CDC says.
Yeah, doing some type of physical activity. And so walking is a really good way to just get started. I mean, you just put one foot in front of the other and literally take it one step at a time.
Yes.
But, for some folks, maybe walking's not conducive for their condition or whatever, or maybe just the idea of just walking sounds really boring to them, and they would much rather do something else. So in this program in particular, there is a conversion chart that people can use so that they can look at other activities that they enjoy.
Right.
Maybe things that they don't enjoy but are a part of their life,
sure.
like cleaning house.
Yeah. But that's an activity. That's
exactly. Vacuuming can get up the heart rate and actually count for physical activity. So within this program with Walk Across Texas, there is that conversion chart so that people can look at what they're doing and how they can integrate that into healthy living.
Sure.
So by increasing their physical activity. So, maybe you're vacuuming every day.
Yeah. Washing your car. I mean, a lot of things that you can do out there.
Right. We were kind of making jokes, which is probably not that funny for you, but like even washing your boat.
Yeah.
Because you have that boat that you love.
That's right. My boat is my baby. That's true.
And then it even gets to washing an airplane. Do you have an airplane, Mike?
I do not have an airplane. Do you?
Good to know. No. Yeah, a little toy airplane.
Right.
But anyway, so there's a conversion chart, other things that you can do that is physical activity. So the Walk Across Texas, the goal, like I said, is within 8 weeks. And we're talking virtually. A lot of folks are thinking, I really am going to have to walk to another city. Definitely not. It's just, and it's collectively as well. Okay. So the teams try to accumulate the miles together, but they don't necessarily have to do it simultaneously. So it's not like...
Not like you have to meet at at a certain place, and everybody had to be at a certain time, and,
Right.
and that type of stuff goes schedules and
Yeah,
things like
it would
that.
be almost impossible. Although there is a lot of research that suggests having a buddy or an accountability partner really makes a difference in motivating people to
Yes.
actually follow through. And that's kind of part of this concept too. When you're working in a team of 8,
Right.
You've got other people that are depending on you to do your part to walk the miles, so that as a team we can get the number of miles that we need.
Could be motivation, even maybe a challenge, a friendly challenge.
Most definitely. And so that's what we call it here in Montgomery County. So Walk Across Texas you can do like any time. You can do this project any time of year. But
Right.
here in Montgomery County, we try to focus on it during the months of April and May. It's a good
Okay.
time. Weather's kind of getting nicer. It's not so blistering hot like it is now.
True.
But so we try to really do a big push, and we call it the Montgomery County Walk Across Texas Community Challenge. And we do that in partnership with United Way. And I just can't say enough good things about that partnership with them. And I think that they really help make this happen. So
Okay.
huge thank you to United Way for that.
Good. Hey, thank you, United Way. Yes, there you go.
So 8 weeks,
Yep.
833 miles, walking, doing some type of physical activity, and then it's an online system, so you can each team has a team captain. That team captain gathers up all the information from their team members and plugs it in each week, and so you can the system has a program, part of the program where you can kind of see where your team compares to other teams.
Right.
And we had 149 teams this year
That
doing
is
it.
great.
It is pretty awesome.
That is.
So talking to different teams kind of handled it different ways. I mean, some of them like had a challenge within their work group, and we can talk about that just a little bit later about the groups that participated.
Okay.
But like some of them would put up a literal Texas map so that they could see, where each team
And
was on a team.
plot their progress across Texas, really.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And actually what happened, people got really motivated, and there was a lot of teams that did way more than 830. In fact, our top team was like 6,000 miles, I think. So,
Cool.
yeah. So
That's like walk across the United States.
right? Walk across the world.
Yeah.
So, the motivation of it, I mean, really kind of became contagious, and they all really worked towards doing that. So, and feel good about what they're doing, and the most important thing is just doing better than you did yesterday.
Sure.
But we can talk about that more when we
Yeah.
come
I
back.
tell you what,
Yeah.
Amy, we're coming up on our first break here to go
Sure.
pay some bills. So when we come back, we're going to get back and talk about Walk Across Texas. So hey, come on back.
Hello, I'm Bonita DeRosa, Animal Control Officer for the City of Willis. We invite you to tune in to Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. for the Willis Hour. On the first Thursday of the month, the Willis Hour will be covering upcoming events and news about the city. Join in the conversation with your city officials and other leaders in the community. On the third, we will be doing a recap of the last City Council meeting. The mission of the City of Willis is to provide high-quality services, accountability, and professional commitment to our citizens. We pledge to provide those who live, work, and visit our city an effective government that is open and responsive to the needs and values of the community. Again, we invite you to tune in on Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 for the Willis Hour.
I'm Lieutenant Bob Berry with the Conroe Police Department, reminding you that texting and talking on the phone while driving are not only dangerous, but also illegal in school zones and other posted areas. Drive safely and alert.
Have a legal question? Are you a resident of Montgomery County? Call 281-645-6344 to talk to a volunteer attorney from the Woodlands Bar Association. We answer the phones on the first Monday of every month at 281-645-6344 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to provide general legal information and information about legal resources to Montgomery County residents.
Hey, welcome back to the Health Hour. I'm Mike Sasser, your host of an hour of health news you can use. And we're coming to you live right here from downtown Conroe, Lone Star Community Radio. And if you're listening to us, then you know where we're at. We're at www.irlongstar.com. Please share that with your friends and family. Let them know, because we like to talk about things that help keep you and your family healthy and safe and just overall well-being, because, hey, life is meant to be fun. It's
right.
meant to be right, you know. And I got a wonderful guest in the studio, Amy Ressler from Texas A&M AgriLife Extension and of Montgomery County.
Of
right?
Montgomery County, yes.
Of Montgomery County, all right. And we're talking about several things here, but let me first tell you that if you want to get in touch with us, have a question or comment, anything like that, the easiest ways to do it is to contact me direct by my website or via my website. It's www.mikesasser.com. I have a Contact Mike page on there, or link. You click on that. You can send me an email, send me or check out my Facebook, post on Facebook, or send me a message through Facebook, or tweet me on Twitter. Yep, I actually have a Twitter account. So that's the ways to get in touch with me. And if you miss a show, again, share this with your friends and family. All the shows are recorded. Their podcasts are available at www.irlongstar.com, as well as I have a link on my website that you can catch all the podcasts. And that you can listen to those anytime. I mean, it might be Saturday night, you know, not sitting around the house, not doing anything. Hey, let's listen to the Health Hour with Mike Sasser. That sounds like a great idea to me. I mean,
It sounds good to me too, Mike. I think that people should do that.
Yeah, so we're talking with Amy. She's right here live in the studio, and we are talking about this wonderful program that it really wrapped up, but at the same time, you can still do this year round, and we're talking about Walk Across Texas.
Yes.
So, Amy, again, you know, we're talking about, it doesn't literally mean that you have to walk all the way across Texas by yourself.
We would never make it.
That's right, especially in this heat. But it's about team membership and participation, and like I said, the show or program wrapped up recently. So.
Sure.
You know, tell us how we did.
So, actually, Montgomery County did awesome, and I've got statistics for over the past few years that we've been doing this. So it's kind of actually Walk Across Texas has been around for 20 years.
20 years.
So
okay.
yeah, it started. So earlier I was telling you about how our programs are very community based. Mm-hmm. So it actually started out as a community based program. So there was a county extension agent in a small county that was trying to get people more physically active, and she came up with this idea, let's have people walk across Texas.
Right.
And then it just kind of grew from there, became a statewide program, eventually became an online system. Old days we used to have to write it down on a piece of paper, send it to the state office before we knew what our statistics were. So this is way better.
Wow, yeah, absolutely. And do you know every county in Texas participates now, or
every county in Texas has the opportunity to participate.
Opportunity. Okay.
Yes, and
okay.
This is internet radio, right? So people from all over the world may be listening. Anybody who wants to can log on to this website.
What do you mean maybe listening? They are listening.
Most definitely. Those of you who are across the world listening to the show.
That's right.
So, no, really, so you can log on to our website. So it's www.walkacrosstexas.tamu.edu. So that TAMU.edu, TMU stands for Texas A&M University.
Okay.
So wherever you're at, you can log into that.
And,
all right.
And I checked on that. Matter of fact, I logged into it, did my homework here, and the site's still up, still running, and there's a lot of tools that you can use on the site.
Oh, yeah, it's got some awesome things.
Yeah, tools and resources are available, as well as a calculator. We talked about that just a little bit. You know, you can plug in the time that you walked. I believe it's your weight, I believe, and it'll calculate how many, say 30 minutes and I weigh 190 pounds. Well, it will tell you how many calories you burned,
right?
How far the distance that you walked, and I take it, that's what you use to keep up with your miles as you're participating in the program.
Right, and we talked about other activities that you can do. So that actually converts. So if you were gardening for an hour, it can tell you how that equates into miles. So you can do that. You can use the conversion chart. You can do actual mileage. So if you walk, from here to there is 1 mile, and you walk it twice, that's 2 miles.
Right.
And then So there's a couple different ways that you can do that. And also, I want to mention that you can do that as a individual as well. So we talked about the team concept, which is awesome. It's got great motivation when you know that there's other people depending on you. But if for some reason you are on the other side of the world and you want to, and you can't get a team together or whatever, or maybe it's one of those things that you just really, for some folks, you're just motivated more, intrinsically and individually. So for those people, they can be a solo walker, and it's kind of the same thing where you can just track your miles on your own. You can compare it to other people.
That would be me walking all by myself.
All by myself. Okay, so we did have some awesome teams, and some that just really went above and beyond. So we talked about it was like 833 miles or so over the 8 weeks. We had our first place team, the one that did better than any of the others as far as tracking and recording their miles. That was the Darksiders.
The Darksiders.
Yep. And they're actually Montgomery County employees, but they're part of the Montgomery County Library System.
Okay.
So
great.
Our librarians are very active, and it was so fun to hear them talk about the kinds of things that they would do to make sure that they were getting enough miles. So during their lunch break, they're walking around a park nearby or up and down the stairs. There's stairs at the library.
Absolutely.
And some of them would meet after work and have kind of a group workout, and then they were doing things individually as well.
Okay.
So they were very, very motivated. Did awesome. 6,217.53 miles.
That is a long way.
That is.
That is a long. Well, I mean, across Texas, that would be you'd walk back and forth across Texas doing
a few times.
Yeah,
yes, I can't do math in my head, so I can't tell you how many times. But there's someone out there that has already figured that out.
I'm sure.
That's many times around Texas.
That is awesome.
Yep. So then there was another team at the Lone Star Family Health Center. They actually had several teams over there, and the Teeth-rific walkers.
Teeth, as in teeth.
Yeah. So they must work in the dental.
I was wondering. Yeah,
clinic
have to be
at the health center. But that team had 6,061.3 miles.
Amazing.
Lost in Pace is another librarian team, and that was led up by Devery Johnson. They had 5,932.6 miles.
Just under 6,000.
Just under, barely.
Incredible.
Yep. And you know what? I want to say that they were first place last year.
Yes.
And I think that they actually beat themselves from last year.
Okay. Okay.
So pretty awesome.
So I bet if you have some teams, returning teams, again, there's probably a little competition in there.
Oh yeah. And they
just human nature.
Yep. And they kind of, they know the system. They know how the conversion charts work and that kind of thing. So yeah, they know what to count and how to count it and that kind of thing. So that helps add it up.
Very cool.
Rose Runners were the fourth place team, and that team is actually some master gardeners. So they spent a lot of time gardening.
They did.
Among other things.
Wow.
And then another team from the Lone Star Family Health Center was the Red Hot Chili Steppers.
Steppers, not peppers.
Yeah,
Steppers.
Yeah. I love the team names. They had so many fun team names.
And I'm sure they come up with these names themselves. So probably, yeah.
They do. Yeah. Just half the fun.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So individuals, so you can walk individually as a solo walker, or the system actually keeps track of each person and how much they walk, so we can figure out we can figure out the improvement rate of the walkers. And so Gloria Crump, she was with What the Health.
What the Health?
That was her team, What the Health. And she had a 7,900% improvement. So she started out just walking less than a mile a day, a mile a week. So, and then by the 8th week, she was up to 20 miles a week, and that is very impressive.
That is super impressive. That's what I'm looking at right here. Week 1, 0.25 miles, a quarter of a mile.
Right.
Week 8, 20 miles.
20 miles, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
That is, and really, I love this example because that's kind of what it's all about. Because you can look at some of the mileage that are on there, and like I said, there's a lot that goes into it with the conversion charts and that kind of thing, and you can think, God, there's no way I can walk that many miles. There's these people that are doing these incredible number of miles, and I'm just, I'm doing good just to get off the couch.
Right.
So, walking a little bit more makes a big difference. Yeah.
Start small.
Exactly.
2 years ago, I wrote a book, and Simple, Inexpensive, Painless Weight Loss, and in my book, my main activity is walking. Now, nowadays I walk an hour to probably an hour and 20 minutes, nonstop. But I didn't start out like that. I started out with 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and the more you do it, it's like anything. The more you do it, then the better you get at it. I guess easier it becomes. So again, 7,900% improvement.
That's
Go
great.
Gloria! All right.
So then, like Bobby Joe Wells, she was with the Lone Star Legs, and she started out with 4 and went up to 41. So she had a 925% improvement.
Incredible.
Yeah. So, and then, some of them were doing really, really well, walking, 29 miles, and they got up to 234.
Yeah.
But looking at that that improvement, I think is impressive and
absolutely
and motivating, and even myself personally. So I have to admit, there's been some years that we've done it that I'm just managing this. I can't even keep track of my miles because just work and everything is just overwhelming, and I'm just gonna and honestly, I felt very guilty about that because I do believe in practicing what you preach. So my personal goal this year in this program was to make sure that I actually was practicing what I preach.
Good.
During the course of those 2 months, there was at one point I got really sick. I was feeling horrible, could hardly get out of bed.
Right.
But I did get to where
real life does happen.
It does happen that way, yeah. But the idea is you just got to get up and do it again. So I became even more motivated after that. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do my very best to get 10,000 steps. So that's more than the whatever would be per person per week, but I was just like, it's important to me that I do this. And so the way I counted steps was just I have an activity tracker, just trying to get those 10,000 steps. And so, occasionally it's like 8:30. I'm like, I got to go to the park and walk. I just need a couple more 2,000 more miles. I can do it.
Yeah. The other thing about the walking in the park, and that's what I do basically, is and the studies to back this up as well, is it helps you it makes you happy. I mean, just so you kind of get out there, get your thought processes going. I mean, that's what I do. I listen to my music and just do my walking thing, get my walk on, so to speak. and like you said, you have so many devices nowadays. You have the Fitbits, you have all these phones, apps on phones nowadays. There's so many ways to keep up with your steps. And if I'm not mistaken, 10,000 steps is my goal as well, and that equates almost to 5 miles. It's right at 5 miles. It might be a little variation.
Give or take, kind of depends on your stride and all that stuff.
Exactly. But you're approaching 5 miles if you get 10,000 steps in per day. So good. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So when over the years, like I said, we've increased. So total. I guess we haven't talked a whole lot about the total number of teams that we've had, but and the total number of participants. But so we started out in 2013. There was like 439 people participating in Montgomery County, which is awesome.
Right.
But we were able to increase that over the years. So 2014 we had 635. 2015 we had 713, and then 2016 we had over 1,000 people. So 1055. Were the number of people that we had on 149 teams. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, that is great. And I tell you what, I see the total miles, but let's hold that. Let's keep them in suspense out there. Okay, we're going to take a break. Going to pay a few bills around here, and when we come back, we're going to get back with Amy and talk some more about walking across Texas right here on the Health Hour with Mike Sasser.
Hi, this is BJ Orner from Montgomery County Performing Arts Society. I'm here to remind you to get your tickets now for all the upcoming events that McPass has to offer. All shows will be held at the beautiful Crichton Theater in downtown Conroe. Call 936-441-7469 for your tickets today, or go to our website, www.mcpass.org, for more information. Hope to see you at the show.
Here we are, another morning in Montgomery County. It's 6 a.m. and all you can do is think about hitting that snooze button. But don't. Wake up with me, your morning radio host of Mornings of Lone Star, Dick. Every weekday morning from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Lone Star Community Radio, join me for some music, talk, interviews, giveaways, and of course Montgomery County's weather and traffic. I'm here to make your morning start. Every weekday morning, online at irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1 with Mornings with Lone Star.
If you are looking to start a career, you can start your professional life in the U.S. Army. I am Staff Sergeant Stephen Jackson. My fellow soldiers and I can talk with you about learning high-tech skills in electronics and computers as a soldier. Interested in the medical field? The Army has skilled medical and dental jobs that set you up for future success. Come visit us at 2109 West Davis Street, directly behind the Whataburger on Highway 105, or give us a call at 936-756-7002.
Heaven's Army of Resources and Recreation Center is a 501c3 nonprofit organization featuring a 10,000 square foot building located at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas. At Heaven's Army, we offer over 26 different services free for all ages, from karate, dance, drug and alcohol classes, anger management, parenting, food and clothing pantries, to just name a few. We are supported solely by volunteers and private donations. Our main mission is to glorify God in all that we do. At Heaven's Army, we strive to be a hand up, not a handout. Come check us out at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas, or call for more information at 281-689-5864. You may also learn more about Heaven's Army by visiting our website at heavensarmyofresources.com.
Hey, welcome back to the Health Hour. I'm Mike Sasser. I'm your host of the Health Hour. It's a weekly show, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. right here on Lone Star Community Radio. And how do you listen to it? Well, right now you listen to it at www.irlonestar.com. All right, you know that. We're internet-based, so the cool thing is you can listen to us anywhere there's internet. I mean, around the world, anywhere.
That's right, anytime.
Anytime. That's right. Anytime, any place. The Health Hour is here, along with a lot of other great shows on Community Lone Star Radio. So appreciate you listening. If you have a question or comment, well, how do you get in touch with me? Go to my website, www.mikesasser.com. I have a contact page there. Just contact Mike. And guess what? You have right in front of you my email. You have my Facebook page. You have my Twitter account. Just one click away, and you can be in touch with me and send me your comments, your questions, or anything else. And let's say you missed the show today, or maybe missed last week's show. Well, every show is recorded. Podcasts are available, and you can catch those also on the lonestar.com website, as well as my website. I have a link, and you go straight to the podcast and check them out. There's a whole library, or archive, I should say, of all the shows.
Plethora.
What's that?
A plethora.
That's it. What does that mean,
I like to use
Amy?
big words, a plethora of choices.
Exactly.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No. It's all good. Amy Ressler's here in the studio live. That's right. Live
in person.
Yeah. And she is with the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, and we're talking about, I want to get into like several different things that you guys do, but I mean, right now we are just learning so much about the Walk Across Texas program.
Sure. Hey, I want to interrupt you for just a second and add to, so you're talking about the Lone Star Internet Radio, and we also have the Extension Hour, and it's on Fridays at 1 to 2.
That's right.
So we probably won't get a chance to talk a whole lot about some of the other things that we do in Extension, but we have a plethora of things that we do in Extension. And so we also, there's the archive. You can look at the previous Extension hours to find out some of the other things that we do.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely great.
But,
Good. Yeah.
But Walk Across Texas is one of my favorites.
So we are,
it really is.
we are fellow radio host.
Yes, it's always fun. And it's fun to talk with different people.
It is.
So thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. And walk across Texas. All right, we talked about the teams and their progress as far as miles, and then we talked about some individuals and their percentage of improvements, which is quite impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, Gloria Crump, once again. What the health? Okay, I tried to say that as careful as I could.
Enunciate.
What the health? This lady started out on week 1 walking 0.25 miles, a quarter of a mile, and by week 8 she was walking 20 miles a week for an improvement of 7,900%.
Right, and you may say, "What the health with that?"
Yeah, exactly.
And she would say, "Health, yeah."
Health, yeah. Go ahead. So, all right. And then the program has been around for a while, but you have here from 2013 to 2016, each year you have more participants, you have more teams.
Yes.
And you want to share the total miles here?
Sure. So collectively, we had 1,055 people on 149 teams and individuals, and total in those 8 weeks,
drum roll,
we equaled 230,852.28 miles as a county during that community challenge that we had in April and May.
As Montgomery County.
Yes.
Wow. Yep. That is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
That is a long ways.
If
I'm not mistaken, that's almost to the moon.
I was going to say, to the moon and back, maybe.
Yeah, around it, Gosh.
The other cool thing about that is, more people are walking. More people are walking more often, becoming more physically active. So we know from research that if you're more physically active, your health status is going to improve. You're going to have fewer doctor visits. You're going to have fewer chances of getting a chronic disease that's directly related to inactivity, and you're going to have fewer missed absences from work. So when we talk about doctor visits and we talk about missing work and we talk about managing chronic diseases, a big part of that is actually money. Those things cost us money if we're missing work, if we're going to the doctor. So the system has a way to calculate an economic impact for us. And what that means is, so it's those participants between the ages of 18 and 66. Right. So it may not be all of the participants, but these are the people between those ages who consistently walked through the 8-week program, and it's assuming that they continue being physically active. The potential savings for 2016 equaled a collective $7.9 million. So specifically $7,947,183 could be saved by reduction in healthcare cost, avoiding type 2 diabetes, and reducing work absences just by becoming more physically active, and as simple as walking.
That's a big number. And let's just round it up to $8 million.
Yeah, why not?
$8 million bucks. So, and walking, or, as you said, other activities.
Sure.
And your website shows all of that. It has conversions. Again, if you're vacuuming or washing your car or your boat, I have a boat. But if you're washing your vehicle or things like that, so you can convert that into making this work as well.
Exactly. And the whole idea, hopefully, too, is that people become motivated to see what they can do, and then make that effort to even do more. So I can do this. I can walk 10 miles a week. I can walk 20 miles a week. So what else can I do? And then hopefully it leads into a healthier lifestyle in general.
Absolutely. And you're right on, is a little bit of activity. And again, you can start small.
Sure.
I talk to people all the time, and they say, well, Mike, I sit behind a desk all day long, and then I go home and I have children to feed and meals to cook and all this kind of stuff. I don't have 30 minutes. I don't have 45 minutes to just go take off walking.
Right.
Well, you can break that down into segments. You can break it down into 10-minute segments, 5-minute segments. Get up from your desk, walk across the office, or whatever. But there's ways you can fit that activity in. And again, walking to me is kind of one of kind of one of the easiest because for the most part it's just natural. We get out of your car, you walk.
Sure,
we walk
sure.
a lot of places. So yeah.
And I think the other thing that happens is that when that becomes a part of your lifestyle, you miss it when it doesn't happen, and you don't feel as well when you're not getting those that physical activity. We talked about times when you get sick or you get really, really busy, and it just happens to me. Sometimes I'm just like, I really got to go for a walk. I really need to walk, and I feel so much better afterward.
You do, and it, not only habit. I like to go a step further. Habit, like just automatic.
Sure,
it becomes automatic behavior.
Yeah,
through just doing it over and over again.
Right, and that's one of the goals of Walk Across Texas and our partnership with United Way is just to make healthy our community culture, that it's one of those things that people just do naturally because that's what we do. We're physically active. We live healthy lifestyles.
Sure. Well, the big epidemic, if you will, now, it's not even on the horizon anymore, but obesity.
Oh yeah.
In America is it's a big number. A lot of people, about a little over a third of people in the United States are considered obese. And from my research and from my studies that I read, that is what is bringing on a lot of the health issues. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's costing the United States and people billions billions of dollars a year.
Oh yeah.
So look at the impact that you have right here in Montgomery County with these folks participating in what can be a fun activity, and you have an impact of $8 million right here in 2 months.
Yeah, just in 2 months.
Incredible, Amy. That is awesome.
So, and another thing that the system allows us to do is it gives people a chance to talk about some of the benefits that they get from it. So at the end of it, we ask them to do a wrap-up survey. Yeah. And one of the things is, what benefits did you have from participating in Walk Across Texas? And, the numbers are great. Mm-hmm. And for some folks, numbers are really, really important. Yeah. But one of the things I like to hear is just kind of the difference that it makes in people's lives. And so some of the responses to things like of the benefit was one person said it allowed me to reach goals for myself.
Great. Yeah.
Another person said I gained better awareness of our activity levels. Someone else mentioned that they lost 5 pounds. There you go.
If you want to lose weight, you can. It's as easy, simple and inexpensive as walking.
Exactly. Someone else says my legs look great. So someone else says I was already on a healthy journey. This helped me track my activity a little better. It was also a great friendly competition amongst team members. Yeah. So that made a big difference. Family involvement. My husband was a part of the program as well, so it really helped to have him participating.
That's good.
And we were able to support each other, and they look forward to continuing their workouts together.
Well, families can get their children involved as well. I mean, it can be a family affair.
Oh yeah,
going out and taking a walk in the park.
And we could get into a lot more information about family and family environments and the influence that it has on children and the obesity rate among our children and what that means for our future. But if we can get, like I said before, if healthy becomes the norm, if it becomes the culture of our communities and our world, our nation, then our future is going to look much brighter than some of the outlooks that we have now in terms of obesity. So that influence of parents setting the example for the kids. So the kids if that's just normal, then maybe they don't have to fight obesity like we do as adults now.
I mean, children obesity or obesity among children is a growing number as well, and absolutely, if you can reverse that number, then our country, our communities, everything has nothing but positive things to gain, to benefit from. So yeah, it's great deal.
Not to mention people feel better when they're healthier and make the world a better place.
I know
we could all hold hands and have peace.
Well, Amy, we're going to take our last break of the day here, and when we come back, we're going to wrap it up with Amy and the Health Hour. So come on back.
Are you interested in learning more about preparing quick, healthy, and safe meals for your family? Would you like to spend time with others learning tips and tricks, along with practicing and tasting nutritious food? If so, the On the Road to Healthy Living Mobile Cooking School is for you. Call Amy Ressler at Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service at 936-539-7825 to find a class near you or volunteer to host a class.
Tune in to Chamber Chat with your host, Courtney Galley and Samantha Good, with the Conroe, Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce, every first Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. I'm one of your hosts, Courtney Galley. Samantha and I will chat about the Conroe Chamber's upcoming events and programs for the month. Relax with a cup of joe or your favorite drink for Chamber Chat.
Doing business since 1985, Assistance League of Montgomery County is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization where all proceeds stay in Montgomery County. We are proud to sponsor 10 philanthropic programs that enhance the lives of those in our community. Visit our thrift shop at 126 North San Jacinto Street in downtown Conroe or call us at 936-760-1151. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Hey, welcome back to the Health Hour. I'm Mike Sasser, your host of this weekly show right here on Lone Star Community Radio. And you're listening to us today probably at the website, www.irlongstar.com. And you know what? We will be going FM soon. I'm not sure exactly what date it is, but we're working on it. It's going to be soon. And you'll be able to
Before
listen
you
to
know it.
Yeah, you'll be able to listen to us on the radio, in your car, in your boat. In your airplane.
In your airplane as you wash it.
That's right.
Getting your walk across Texas miles.
And your iPod, pad, or whatever. I mean, and you'll get us on FM 104.5 or 106.1. So that's coming.
Yeah,
all right.
Very exciting.
The Health Hour every week. All right. You want to get in touch with me. You have a question. You have a comment. Well, go to my website, MikeSasser.com. I have a contact Mike page there. And when you click on that, you can email me, you can go to my Facebook page and message me, or you can tweet me. I think that's what they say, tweet on Twitter.
Tweet on Twitter.
So, hey, tweet me on Twitter. All right. And get in touch with me. Let me know what you think about the show. And, and by the way, if you miss a show or want to catch the other shows that we've had in the past, everything's podcast. Everything's recorded, so you can catch the podcast on my website as well as the longstar.com website. So anyway, we've got Amy Ressler in the studio. She is with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension. We have been talking about the walk across Texas, and I thought I didn't realize there was this much to it. There's so much information. There's so much good results because you guys did this from April to May, and so you kind of have the results in. But this is something that people can do year round, as we've already talked about. The website is still up. I've gone to the website, so it has some great resources, has tools and resources. It has a calculator. It's not just about walking. You have a conversion table, again, to where if you're cleaning house or whatever, you can convert to steps or miles or activity, if you will. So this is just a really cool program.
It is. And we were just talking about the importance of educating our children and being a good influence on our children so that healthy living becomes a part of their everyday life.
Absolutely.
So the Walk Across Texas also has a version for teachers and for classrooms. So a classroom can participate in Walk Across Texas collectively as a classroom. They can get their families involved, have some bonus miles. You talked about the website. It has some great teacher resources, lots of short, easy brain breaks from class so that you can just kind of get your kids up and moving and doing things. Yes. And because research has proven that the more active kids are, actually the better they learn.
Sure.
If they just sit all day long, they're not learning as much as they possibly could, and it's teaching them really bad habits.
Yeah. Sitting, more and more studies are coming out that it's not good for you.
Yeah, they're calling it a sitting disease.
Yeah, you're finding now it's a big market now for the stand up desk. You know that you raise your desk up and so you're standing, working behind your desk and things like that. So that is excellent for the kids. And school is just now starting or about to start.
Right.
So a good time for that. Teachers, definitely. If you're out there and you're listening, okay, good time for that. Anywhere, wherever you're at, you can go to that website. And let's see, I have the website. You might have it in your head there.
www.walkacrosstexas.tamu.edu.
That is correct. That's right. Go to that website and check it out. And like I said, there's just a lot of good information still there, still live.
Right. And I anticipate that next April we will have the 2017 Walk Across Texas Community Challenge. So definitely be looking out for that. But in the meantime, keep walking.
That's right. You know, like I said, just keep going. That's what I have in my book. Keep going. Keep going. You know, it's that easy.
Even if you have a step behind, you get behind for whatever reason, just do better than you did yesterday.
That's right. Don't if you I say this as well. If you go out and have a big meal, which I do sometimes. Hey, I'll go have a hamburger, fries, and cold drink. I try to eat healthy most of the time. I try to get my walks in most of the time. But as we said, real life happens, and you don't do it sometimes. Don't beat yourself up.
Exactly.
Just keep going. Get out there and do it again. So, Amy, we're approaching the end of the hour. I can't believe that. But do you have anything else that you guys have going on you might want to promote or talk about?
Sure. So, Josh would be really mad at me if I didn't mention our Facebook page. So we have one that's called Healthy Living in Montgomery County.
Okay.
So it's our Family and Consumer Sciences page. And then there's also Montgomery County, Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. So there's two Facebook pages. The 4-H program has a Facebook page as well. But ours for Family and Consumer Sciences is called Healthy Living in Montgomery County. So go like us on Facebook because we try to announce a lot of things that we have going on there. So we have a couple of canning classes coming up. That's one of the things that folks are really interested in. End of the summer harvest.
My mom used to can all kinds of, figs, strawberries, all kind of stuff. Again, I come from Louisiana, so we ate all kind of stuff. But she would can a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and this will be a really a basic. So on Saturday, August 20th, we're going to talk about water bath canning. And then on Saturday, August 27th, we'll talk about pressure canning. And it'll be very basic. From the very beginning, step 1, step 2, step 3. And we'll actually can something during the workshop so that you have something to take home with you.
Oh, cool. I have to ask a question.
Okay.
Water bath canning. I don't know what that is. What is that?
Well, that's what most people think of canning. So it's they call it water bath because it's boiling water. And so your high acid foods, you can do a water bath. If it's a low acid food like vegetables, then it has to be under pressure canning. Okay. And it's interesting. A lot of people think that they can in the oven or they can can in the dishwasher. Some folks try to can.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh.
And
clean anyway. I don't know if it can, but
clean, yes. But it's possible that the temperature may not get up to the right amount to really kill that bacteria and seal the jars and all that. So we don't recommend that anyone cans in the dishwasher.
Please don't use your dishwasher to can.
Think of boiling water baths. So, that actually, now that you're mentioning that does sound like a funny kind of name. Water bath?
Yeah. I'm thinking that my mom used pressure canning because she did the boiling water and all. Maybe she was doing the water bath canning the whole time. Like I said, I had not seen that term, so I wouldn't.
And it depends on the type of food, really. So like I said, a high acid, low acid food. So the pH balance is a really important factor.
Well, this is interesting stuff. And again, this if you want to stretch your food dollars, it's a great way to do it.
Sure.
And preserve your vegetables, your fruits, things like that, year round.
Right.
Cool.
And the other thing I want to be sure to mention, so maybe you're not interested in canning and you just want to eat quick, not spend a whole lot of time in the kitchen. We do have our Dinner Tonight roadshow coming up. And so I work with a group of agents and we visit each other's counties and we do a show. So I also have a cooking school that's a mobile cooking school, and then we do on-site, hands-on, full meal, but the cooking show is more of a kind of Rachel Ray sort of thing. So that is October 27th. Write that down.
Okay, I might even be there because I like to eat.
You need to be there. Yes.
I tell you what, Amy, just such good things that you guys are doing there, and I appreciate you taking time out to be on the show today. Thank you so much.
Great to be here.
I had fun. Yay!
All right. Me too. Me too.
For you folks out there listening, I hope you had a good time and got some information. Again, contact Amy and them at the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension for more information on anything they're doing over there. And next week, tune in to another edition of the Health Hour with Mike Sasser. Have a great week.